O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Miles an hour, that's a Category 4 hurricane. 3 deaths are reported in Florida after more than 24 were killed in the Caribbean. This
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Hialeah Park Casino is turning 10.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com. viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. How y'all doing? It's a Sunday, yes. We are popping in. Tomorrow's Labor Day. You know, it's going to be kind of one of those shows that you're going to be kind of cruising. And, you know, I know I'm going to do a show tomorrow. But today we actually have like a big-ass game going on because Inter Miami is visiting LAFC tonight at 10 o'clock. So we're ways away from the game. We're still 9 hours away since we went live here. But as I told you guys, that's why I tell you always to hit the notification bell. That way you know when we go live on the new channel. And by the way, thank you all out there. We're over 1,000. We're over the 4,000 hours watched. Okay, you guys exploded. We're over 5,000 hours watched. So now we have kicked in. So now YouTube has to kind of approve everything. So we await word now for them. So we've done everything that we're supposed to do to monetize the channel. Now we're waiting them to approve it. We sent it in actually this morning because they had us locked in like at 3,600 hours or something, and it wouldn't move for the last couple of days. And I told Sean, I said, it must have gone over, and they locked us in, and they wanted to see if we went over the 1,000 and if we stayed over the 1,000. And so I think we're like 30 over the 1,000 now. Yeah, right. 1,030 now. So we've continued, which, folks, if there's anything you can continue to do is watch, because that's how Sean and I get paid. So even if you watched a little bit of a segment and you need to go do something, let it run. And then when you leave the house, turn it off. You know what I'm saying? So let it run as much as you can, because view time is very important for our pockets. That's what we're learning. So please make sure you view as much as possible, no matter what, you know. So even if you're done with it, turn down the volume, walk away, let it run. You know, that kind of stuff would be really cool if you can, to help us out that way, because that's how, you know, if you can't visit the sponsors like Caneswear, which, by the way, go get your Inter Miami gear at Caneswear. They got all kinds of hats and shirts and T-shirts, Messi shirts, all that kind of stuff. Come on, man. You want to be there tonight. A lot of you are off tomorrow night, right? I mean, tomorrow. So you get to watch this game tonight, although it'll be done by midnight. That's the good thing. If it was a 10 o'clock game that was a football game, okay, you know you're going to bed way after 1 a.m. Here, it's 2 hours and you're done. It's 45-minute halves, a 15-minute halftime, and it's over. Couple minutes of extra time, and that's it. There's no shootouts, there's no extra time, there's no nothing. It's done. At the end of the final, it is final. You know, now I do want to remind you, okay, because it's something we talked about throughout the season, that Inter was so bad that they are going to make it impossible for Messi to make it to the playoffs. And I understand what's gone on with the cup and everything else. And obviously they're one win away now from winning their second cup, the U.S. Open Cup, right? Which makes this season incredibly successful by winning the League's Cup. And if you can win the U.S. Open Cup, amazing. But they're going to be missing all kinds of players this month. And that's going to hurt them big time. Big time, dude. Players are being called up. Calendars being called up. I mean, you know, it's just... it's going to be hard, man. It's going to be hard to really make it, because you're asking for the backups to, like, you know, come through big time, and it's not going to be easy. It's going to be really hard. If they make the playoffs, put it this way, if they make the MLS playoffs, it's more impressive than winning the League's Cup or the U.S. Open Cup. Okay? That's how much behind the eight ball they are. And we talked about it throughout the offseason that they were losing. They were so bad that they were creating a terrible scenario for Messi and company to get out of that stinking hole. So, it's just crazy. But once again, thank you all out there. Appreciate all of you out there for supporting the hell out of the channel and helping us grow. So hopefully now what we can do is get this thing, get this one going, and hopefully we'll be able to monetize this one soon, so we can make a little bit of a living, on it. So here we go. I have not tweeted out that we are live on the channel, so now we have. We haven't tweeted it out. We got to tell the folks out there that we are live right now. Let's see, what else do we have going on? We got a bunch of things actually to talk about. Hey, man, we are officially a week away from the Dolphins taking the field against the Chargers. So I am so freaking jacked about the Dolphins season. I was jacked last year. And last year, obviously the injuries derailed this team. But I don't think that's going to happen anymore. I think this year we'll have some luck. And if we have some luck, then I think you're going to see this team, have a lot of success. I really, really feel that way. I just do. I think this team's going to have going to kind of shock the world. And let me tell you something. To my surprise, I am seeing a hefty amount of respect for the Miami Dolphins out there, which I'm a little surprised, to be quite honest. I'm a little surprised because they haven't earned that kind of stuff. Back in the day under Shula, they had that respect right from the get-go at the beginning of every season. And there's a lot of people that are kind of getting on the Dolphins bandwagon. It's kind of interesting. And let me tell you something. Let's start off with Vegas. How do you like them apples? Vegas has the Chargers favored by 3. If you know anything about gambling, if you're favored by 3, that's only because you're home. So basically, the Dolphins look at this game like an even game. They're only giving the Chargers favorites because they're home. That's it. And let's be honest now. You and I know the Dolphin Nation will be incredibly strong in Los Angeles on Sunday against the Chargers. Why? The Chargers don't have fans in Los Angeles. So Miami Dolphins players are going to feel at home in Los Angeles because there's going to be a boatload of Dolphin fans. Because since the Chargers left San Diego for Los Angeles to be a tenant inside the Rams stadium, Los Angeles has not inherited the Chargers. And Charger fans are pissed at that ownership group. So not all of them are on the bandwagon, and not all of them are traveling up to Los Angeles. As you all know, hell, they had trouble selling the soccer stadium they played in for the 1 year when they played at, the Home Depot Center or whatever. Isn't it where LAFC plays, right? I think that's the one, right? And so they had trouble even selling that out. And for you Dolphin fans that hit the road, you know what I'm talking about. You saw a lot of Dolphin fans. They may have outnumbered the Chargers fans the last time there was a game. So that's a good thing that the Dolphins aren't going on the road to a place that's really hostile. They're not really going to a place where it's going to be so pro-Charger that you're not going to see any aqua and orange in the stands. It'll be, one guy there, 2 people here, 1 person the second level, that kind of shit. That's not going to be the case. There's going to be a sea of aqua and orange. There's going to be a pod of Dolphins. For those of you that don't know, a group of Dolphins is called a pod. Just so you know. But anyway, so there's going to be a pod of Dolphins in that stadium. So they're going to sense a little, not home field, but they're going to have a little bit more of a home sense, let's say. That's all. Okay. And that's a good thing. And Vegas only by 3, over and unders 51. Dolphins are plus 140 on the money line. The Chargers are minus 166 on the money line. I really like the Dolphins in this game. I think they're going to win this game, to be quite honest. So we shall see. But Vegas only by 3. That's pretty good, man. That's pretty damn good, I gotta say. Let's go over our 3A Graphics Sports Calendar. And obviously, we love Alan Blanco. Great people at 3A Sports Graphics. 980 West 22nd Street. It's 3A Graphics, by the way. I don't know why. It's the great 3A Graphics Sports Calendar. 3A Graphics, period. Custom printing and embroidery, of course. They're in Hialeah, 980 West 22nd Street. Tell them that Big O sent you, and I promise you, they'll take care of you, man. Good people there, 786-251-3404. So if your business, your company, your club, your team, you're looking to print, they will do it for you. Embroidery, all kinds of stuff, and looking sharp, dude. They do a lot of work for a lot of people here in town. You're probably wearing shirts that were made at 3A Graphics in Hialeah. So let's go over the sports calendar. The Marlins, by the way, annihilated the Nats yesterday, 11-5. Old-ass Cueto hung in there. He gave up 3 earned runs in 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 Ks. Berger hit 2 home runs. He's got 30 on the year. Sanchez hit his 11th, and De La Cruz hit his 17th. They're 1 game out of the wild card. Now, they've got what's it called? Cincinnati and Arizona that they've got to skip. Those are the teams ahead of them to get to that 3rd wild card spot, which is San Francisco. Okay. Sandy is on the mound in just a few minutes. And he is 6-12 with a 4.23 ERA. Josiah Gray is 7-11 and a 4.05 ERA. You know, the Marlins are 10-2 against the Nats this year. That has been the panacea for your problems. The only reason the Marlins are over 500, it's because they get to play the Nats. Okay? Really, let's just call it like we see it. 10-2 this year against the Nats. Game number 13 today. We'll see if they can make it 11-2. Thank the Lord for the Nats. The only reason they're in this wild card race, it's because of that. Tonight, we just mentioned it. LAFC taking on Inter. That'll be at 10 o'clock. LAFC favored. Money line 105. Inter plus 230 on the money line. Now, if you want to lay half a goal for LAFC, it's minus 105. And if you want half a goal for Miami, it'll be minus 125. So there's the money line. And again, congratulations to the University of Miami. A nice victory by them. That is your 3A sports calendar. And for the University of Miami, let's give them their due. Little victory cigar for them also. Got to give them a little love, man. Right? Nothing wrong with that. And how about the Marlins yesterday? Yeah, 11-5. How about FIU beating Maine? Yeah. Got to give them that Perdomo cigar, that victory cigar, baby. That's what it's all about. So good job there. Thank you, Nats, for existing and helping the Marlins at least give us some hope, maybe sneak into the playoffs. I doubt it. Welcome aboard to Baptist Health of South Florida Orthopedic Care. You saw you got the QR code there. We are my family we're all Baptist Health. I mean, my daughter was born there. My wife fixed her jaw there. I had my 5 stents in my heart there. Colonoscopy, broken jaw. I think if I mentioned for my wife, I think my daughter broke a finger once, and there. God, I don't know how many things we have used Baptist Health for, you know, and it's lucky we have one. We have the West location now. We have one close to us. when I had my stuff with my heart issue, that's the closest emergency room to me, the new Baptist Health that's out here. And then obviously the original one, which is where my incredible daughter was born. And I've visited that place several times for all kinds of things. So Baptist Health of South Florida, man, the ultimate care. You could use that QR code there for your family. Only great experiences, even though they are the worst of times when we go see them. But it's always been great care, I got to say. There's no doubt about that. Thank you, man of 1,005 holds. Appreciate it. Thanks to you and many others. We got over the 1,000. Please subscribe. Please hit the notification bell. Please watch as much as you can, even when you're got to walk away. Let it play. Even if you got to walk away, let it play. That's our saying. Even if you walk away, let it play. Let it play, baby. Let it play. I see Josh was first in on a Sunday, man of 1,005 holds. Says, can't wait for next Sunday for the Dolphins to beat the Chargers. I'm with you there. I want to see this new offense pound the ball on the Chargers, and they will. Ray Sosa says, wow, what a surprise. Live show, no complaints. DL is in prime time Sunday. Oh, and Sean. Well, no, Sean. I'm riding solo today. Sean is off. I'm not a taskmaster. You know, I'm not a slave driver. You know, he needs his time off. I figured today with Inter Miami taking on LAFC, getting a little show and talk a little bit about that and preview that and talk to you guys about anything else going on here in the world of sports, get a little show in and get people more and more used to coming to the new channel too also. So it's a good opportunity for us. Raging Dolphin Maniac is in. Chuck Shannon is in. He says, I'm watching. How about Colorado and TCU yesterday? Was that an awesome game or what? You know, listen, if you've listened to this show for a while now, I'm a pro Deion guy. I am rooting for Deion big time. When people were ripping into Deion because he flushed out a bunch of kids and all that, that's the kind of crap that goes on all over college football. But, of course, Deion is black, so let's just, nobody's doing it about Mario, and he brought in 40 different kids. You know what I mean? They do it all over the place. But no, because Deion does it. Oh, this, that. How can he do that? This, that. And, it was some of the stuff that he talked about yesterday in his post-game press conference, which is all true. And see, the problem with Deion Sanders is not Deion Sanders. It's people that have a problem with human beings that display swag. Okay? Now, if you're going to display the swag, then you've got to walk the talk, right? Johnny Manziel is a freaking clown. He did a lot of talking, but couldn't walk the talk, right? We have those kind of people. We've seen those people in this world. The people that talk a lot of shit, and then in the end, they can't back it up because they're not that person. And then there's that person that does have the bravado, the swag, the colorfulness, the whatever you want to call it, but then they back it up, right? Mike Tyson can tell you he's going to rip your head off, and then when he walked into the ring, he ripped your head off. Comprende? Larry Bird walks into the All-Star game, into the locker room, okay? This is the All-Star game, which means the best of the world is in that locker room. And he walks in for the three-point contest, and he looks at everybody in the locker room. True story. He says, which one of you guys is playing for number 2? Guess what they were doing? Playing for number 2. Oh, by the way, when Bird shot the last money ball, he put up a 1 finger. When Babe Ruth called his shot, That's where he deposited it. And see, the problem with Deion Sanders is people that have a problem with Deion Sanders. Because if you haven't followed his career, he's been about bravado. He's been about swag. He's oozed and dripped all kinds of confidence throughout his entire life. And guess what he's also done? Lived up to every single second of it. Every time he says he's going to do something, he does it. So whether he's a player, whether he's a coach at HBCU, or now going to Colorado, the guy is just great. Oh, by the way, he's also a good person. Looks like it. Never in trouble. Never really, nothing, dude. Terrific human being. Looks like it to me. And looks like he's doing a lot of things for kids. Did a lot for the HBCUs. Did a lot for his coaching staff. Guess what? He's also doing a lot for college football because he made Colorado matter. Nebraska disappeared. Tennessee is now, from 20 years later, Philip Fulmer, 20-something years later, they're trying to come out of the hole. You know, UM fell in a hole 20 years ago. Mario's trying to get him out of it now. Texas fell in a hole. We've watched big-time programs fall and disappear all over the place. Colorado, not that it was a big program, but people forget Colorado had some success back in the day. They even shared a national championship with Westbrook and Cordell Stewart and those teams back in the day, and Colorado mattered. They haven't mattered in forever, dude. This guy hadn't played a game and they matter. And then what happened yesterday? Oh, my God. That was a performance, dude. That was awesome. So proud of Deion. And by the way, Shedeur Sanders is deadly accurate. He threw for 500 and some yards yesterday, and he left another 150 on the ground because they dropped footballs. And let me tell you something. I'm gonna throw something in. Travis Hunter is a phenomenal football player. I will not doubt that. He's playing too many snaps. But that fatigue factor was setting in throughout the game, even in the first half. He dropped too many balls, and they had to do it fatigue. Okay, I get it. He's phenomenal. What he did yesterday was awesome. Even that interception that he caught towards, on the back end of his entire labor all day on Labor Day weekend, I think he labored a little too much. I think you need to lean off a little bit. Maybe use him on third downs as a receiver. Not a lot of dude. He's running routes and he's running corner. That's too much. I think he dropped some of those balls because of fatigue. It's too many, especially the deep ball that Shedeur put right in it. You can't drop that. You're not allowed to drop that ball. And I know Travis Hunter had a phenomenal game yesterday. Okay? Phenomenal. While he dropped a touchdown, he stopped a touchdown, right? So it kind of erased. But that's the only thing that I would criticize Deion on. And it's not this huge critique, but I just worry fatigue will set in. Will he get injured? And then 2, all those drop balls yesterday had to do with fatigue. Had to. And I get it. To be your best, you need to use them as much as possible. But I would like to see you pull back a little bit on offense. You have enough receivers. From watching, you got enough speed on the field that you can do some damage with. And Shedeur is accurate, bro. Accurate. One of the things I like about Shedeur Sanders is he's not. See, this is what I love about athletic quarterbacks. Okay, the smart ones. And he looks like to me. Well, Shedeur played like the son of a coach, by the way, basically. But what I love about Shedeur is he's thinking of passing all the time. I'm sure he can run and run more if he wanted to, but no. He understands that this is how you win, and you win from that pocket. And that's my problem with Lamar. That's my problem with certain quarterbacks that just never learn to stay in the pocket. And it's because they need their legs in order to be effective. Cam Newton, whatever, those kind of guys. Until you learn to win in the pocket, you're not ever going to be a real quarterback in my eyes. That's just kind of the way. And Shedeur Sanders, holy shit. Holy shit, that kid is a real quarterback already. That was a performance, brother. Time and time and time and time and time and time and time again in the breadbasket. Time and time and time and time again, accuracy. Time and time and time again, ball placement. When I see that, I get excited about any quarterback. And that kid, wow, I'm going to watch him. I mean, I wanted to watch Colorado anyways with Deion, but Shedeur makes me want to watch every week because I love accuracy. To me, that's when you have that, it's over, bro. It's over. Once you have accuracy, anticipation, ball placement, you can do whatever the hell you want in this game. I don't care about throwing it 100 miles an hour. I don't care if you can throw it out of the stadium. I don't care if you can run like the wind. I don't care about any of that. I want to know how accurate you are with this. And if you're accurate with this, then we're good. It's over. And Shedeur just put on a freaking accuracy show yesterday. That was impressive, dog. Okay? Impressive. And if you thought he was just an HBCU guy, well, then, man, because they went on the road in TCU to win that game. That was awesome, dude. That was awesome. That was a really fun game to watch. I thoroughly enjoyed those 4 quarters. And biasly, I'll tell you, I was rooting for Colorado. I was all the way with Deion Sanders on that one because I am it made me sick to my stomach to see all the criticism when all he's doing is good shit, man. He did good for HBCUs. He did good for Jackson State. He's doing good for Colorado. They're fans. I met a Buff fan recently. We were just talking about it, and he's like, he's on cloud 9. Because Deion came and made his team matter. You know? He's like, man, I got to pay a little more for the tickets now, but I don't care. Like, I want to go now to Buffs games. Before, to go to a Buffs game, I was going because I love them, but they were terrible. It's unwatchable, all that. Buffs fans have got to be cloud 9. Good for them, dude. Good for them. Good for Deion Sanders. The articles already came out. Oh, well, is the NFL going to make an offer that he can't refuse? They already got it. I got to tell you something. He looks to me like a college coach, not an NFL. I think he's good for college. I really do. I think he's really good for college. I think Deion might win in the NFL too, but I would rather have him in college. You know, college needs that swag, needs that needs dudes like that. You know what I mean? Plus, I want to see what the Buffs do from here on out with him, over the next few years, how he's able to build that up. You know what I mean? So I hope a few years from now, he's not thinking of going to the NFL. I hope he stays in Colorado for a while. See what he can do, man. Maybe even try to win a national championship there. Not before the University of Miami, but, let's see. Sabretooth is in. He says, I look forward to watching you every morning. Been listening to you for a long time. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Sabretooth. I appreciate you. J-Town is in. Yard work with the Big O, he says. Josh Hart says, Big O, Dolphins season is almost here. I am freaking pumped and excited. Are you anxious like me to get it going? Hell yeah, dude. Can't wait. Can't wait. And I'm hoping that we have a answer this week for a home for our broadcast. So hang in there. We are working really hard to try to have a home instead of just doing it in studio. We will be doing our Dolphins pre and post either way. Sean and I will be doing it, but I'm hoping to have a place. I had several really good meetings this week. So cross your fingers, and hopefully one of them will fall through. Big O, are you attending any games this season? I know you have to do the show. No, I don't intend on attending any games this year, unfortunately. I'll watch them all on TV. Oh, well, no, I am. I'm sorry. That I lied. I'm going to the Super Bowl in Vegas. I'll be at the Super Bowl in Vegas watching my Miami Dolphins defeat the Philadelphia Eagles for the Super Bowl title. So I lied. I will be going to one game this year, the Super Bowl. Let's see. Dizzy says he's in. Saw you on 305 Sports Babe. Yes, Ashley and Lou had a lot of fun. They asked me about the start of my crazy career. So if you don't know the story, you'll get the story there with 305 Sports Babe and Lou. I was on with them. We did, I don't know, like an hour actually. So yeah, I told them all about my crazy start and everything that's gone on in my career, which is, been interesting and colorful. I can tell you that. Colorado TCU was the best game of the day. Oh yeah, it's not even close, dude. Arcarillo is in. Edwin Robles, Deion Sanders keep having success. Might be the Dallas Cowboys' next coach. Maybe. Although, God, I don't know if Deion would play for Jerry. I'm sorry, Deion would coach for Jerry. Deion's too much of his own man. He's not about taking orders and shit. As a player, you got no choice. Deion's going to want some control. That's not the organization he goes to. I would bet nearly everything I have that he will not be. If he goes to the NFL, it will not be the Cowboys. How about that one? Okay. Yeah. You're not going to tell him who to hire as his coach. You're not going to tell him, no, I like this player over that one. He's going to want input. And that's the organization where, you go to take orders. You're not your own man there. Not even Jimmy Johnson or Bill Parcells. They eventually lost the power to the ego freak. And so they had to go. So no shot Deion Sanders becomes a Dallas Cowboy head coach. How about that? Guaranteed. I was hoping and praying when FAU was looking for a coach this year that they could have hired Deion. Man, he could have done to FAU. Yeah, but that's not, FAU doesn't have that much juice. So they're not there yet. Deion just gets too religious, but hey, man, Chuck, that's how people are. And by the way, the black community is very religious. That's just the way it is. Chuck? Black people in general are very religious. You know what I'm saying? Latin people, very religious. I'm not, but Latin people in general are very religious. I'm not, but it's kind of the way it is, man. It's big for certain cultures. Not everybody, because I'm in the Latin culture and I am not of course I believe in the Lord and all that, but I'm not a religious person by any stretch whatsoever. You know what I mean? So, that's just kind of the way it is. You know what it is? I think we worry too much about people's habits or tastes or styles or I don't think any of that stuff is important whatsoever. You know what I mean? And I think we need to learn more as a society that everybody's different, dude. And just accept people for who they are. You know what I mean? Some are religious, some are not. Some are tall, some are short. Some are fat, some are skinny. Some are white, some are green, yellow, brown, black, red, whatever. You know, some come from all religions. Some have different sexualities. You know, I think we get too hung up on what somebody else does or say or whatever. If it's not affecting you, then what the hell, dude? You know what I mean? Who cares? Who cares if that person is religious? Has nothing. They're not telling you, hey, join my religion right now. Be me. They're not telling you, hey, join our culture. Hey, join our form of sexuality. No, they're not telling you any of that. They are who they are. One person likes rock, another one likes classical music, another one likes country, and another one likes Latin, and another one likes rap. It's the way it is. Gives a shit. As long as they're not on top of you going, hey, you need to like screaming metal with me right now, bro. If they're not doing that, then, as long as they're not forcing you into whatever they like, who cares? We're all different. Some guy likes chocolate. This woman likes vanilla. That person likes strawberry. The other person likes raspberry. Some person likes banana cream, and everybody is sick to their stomach that they like banana cream. But everybody's different. I think we get too hung up on all that shit. We're too hung up on culture wars instead of just accepting people for what they are. And that's it. Who gives a shit, dude? It's too much of that. Yeah, in general, there's too much of a focus on it. Well, it's because people want to worry about that. Like, who gives a shit, dude? Who cares if you like Trump or Biden or Nikki Haley or whoever, dude? Who cares? Gives a shit. That's your choice. So I like toast with butter and sugar on it. I bet none of you nutbags like that. What are you going to do? We're all weirdos. Every one of us is a weirdo in one way, in one shape or form or the other. Come on, man. Just as long as somebody's cool with you, that's all that matters. You know what I mean? Respect their likes or dislikes or whatever. That's all. It's no big deal. Anyway, there are religious people that do get in your face about their beliefs. As long as they respect me, I will respect them. Right? Exactly. As long as nobody's pushing any of their stuff on you to become them, that's when you cross a line for anything. And I find nobody's ever doing that to me. And the second they try, I stop you right on your tracks. Like, yo, move on. So I'd rather just insult you and stop you right away, because since you're, crossing the line, then once you cross the line, then that's it. I have the freedom of saying, yo, you've crossed the line. No. But that rarely ever happens. God. Rarely ever happened in my entire freaking life. You know what I mean? So it's I just think we worry a little too much about that kind of crap. Welton Rayom, by the way, proud sponsors of our program. 954-966-4646. Bankruptcy, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury, and we are in hurricane season, so please keep that number in handy. Anywhere in Florida, because we have one of our listeners in Orlando hired Welton Rayom. So you could call him. And by the way, if you think you have a case, call Jeff and run it through them, and they'll tell you if you have a case or not. That way you can follow through. Maybe it's only been a month or 6 months or a year or 3 years. You don't know what the statute of limitations are. So call Welton Rayom, 954-966-4646. You're in a condo. Somebody had a broken water pipe on the condo next door, but the water went over to your end and call Welton Rayom. Before you call the insurance companies, you call Welton Rayom. They have their own adjusters. Okay? All right? These insurance companies are not looking out for you. So call my friends at Welton Rayom, 954-966-4646. All right. What else do we have here? going on. Well, the Chiefs situation with Chris Jones still ugly, huh? Not in practice. All that money. I can't see him if he's going to start missing game checks. That's kind of stupid. Haven't people learned from what happened with Le'Veon Bell? Like, you're not going to make that money back. I got to say, man, that is some weird stuff. Hey, Bill from Boynton, he's always making some songs. And, hopefully when we start doing the pregame show, we'll have Rogers raps, right? So hopefully we'll start getting some of the raps going. And so Bill and Boynton and the boys apparently created one. And here it is.
So you're tired of eating me, need a tough boy. Juice ditches in my bag, I'm the humor boy. Now it's everybody fucking need a beat boy. Got the biggest on the mission, wanna destroy. Yeah. Bandwagon, all the media pulling up. I got a lot of toys, Waddle and Hill about to be them boys. You was talking shit in the beginning. Back when I was hurt, you always spinning. I know it pisses you off to see me winning. Keep my name out your mouth or I'll be sinning. Hit my man in the pocket, it's on me. Throw it deep, cause you can cover this speed. Helen Waddle at 1A and 1B. It's a moment when we show up, got him singing wow. Hit my name in the pocket, it's on me. Yeah, your grandma might probably know me. My name is Tungo Velo, it's easy. It's a moment when we show up, got him saying wow. Everywhere I go, everybody flock, wanna see the show. Checking out the sleeves of Mo, and yeah, you know. Built like a truck, watch me score right on ya. Said I was too small, didn't give a whoop. I'm about to ball New York Jets, son. This a football town, gonna get dubs. Me and Mike here for the trophy. When I got rocked, some of y'all disappeared. I say y'all all phony, but you see I don't care. Now they all saying congratulations to the kid. OG asked for my auto, wish he never did. I used to have a lot, but I got more now. Got a wife and kids, probably have more now. Always go for it, never punt, fourth down. Last call, post, pattern, read, kill, touchdown, eh? Hit my man in the pocket, it's on me. Throw it deep, yeah, I can't cover this speed. Helen Waddle at 1A and 1B. It's a moment when we show up, got him saying wow. Hit my man in the pocket, it's on me. Yeah, your grandma probably loves me. My name is Tungo Velo, it's easy. It's a moment when I show up, got him saying wow. B.O.T.
There you go. There you go. Bill and Boynton. Nice job, Bill and Boynton. Way to go, buddy. Way to go. Way to go. Are you having a party at Orlando's backyard, then going to Joe Shad's house for the pool? That would be a good idea. A pool party at Shad's house. We all should just go over there and hang out. We should all just show up one day. A couple thousand of us just show up at Joe Shad's house, knock on the door. Joe, we're here for the party, and just bum rush him. What do you think? I think that'll be pretty cool. I think we can do that. Good job by Bill and Boynton. Bill from Boynton, that is. And I think that's exactly his Twitter handle, Bill from Boynton. And he always comes up with all these songs. And so that one was interesting. That was good. Oh, man. I'll bring Selma Hayek, yes. And she's dropping those IGs lately. She just celebrated her 56th birthday or something. Yeah, I saw that on social medias. Did you see Marlon Humphrey? He's got a beef, by the way, folks. Yeah, Marlon Humphreys has got a beef with Russell Wilson and Ciara. It's kind of a funny story, I gotta say. And he was talking about it. They were at Disney World. And so the problem was he was in line. And apparently Russell and Ciara ended up skipping the line. So apparently Wilson and his wife Ciara, Humphreys is upset because the quarterback and the husband cut in front of them in the queue at the Disney park on Pro Bowl weekend. Humphreys explained on the Punchline podcast that the NFL had rented out the amusement park and that he was waiting to get on board on a roller coaster when Russell and Ciara cut in front of him through a side door and boarded the ride before he asked, "What the freak? You couldn't wait in line like us?" After it was reported that Humphreys' quarrel was with Ciara rather than with her husband, the 9-time Pro Bowler, he went on to reveal he had a crush on the singer before she married him. He says, to be fair, it's annoying, probably makes anyone irrational when someone cuts in front of you on the queue. But when the person who overtakes you is married to someone you once liked, we imagine it must be even worse. So Marlon Humphrey is more jealous that Russell Wilson got Ciara than anything else. But hey, man, when you got the hookup, you got to use it in life, man. You know what I mean? And any of you out there that have ever had the privilege of having the hookup, you know what I'm talking about. You use the hookup, right? That's kind of the way it goes. You know, you got to use the hookup. And they were able to cut the line. Who doesn't love cutting the line at Disney World? Like, that is one of the greatest feelings in the world, is to cut the line at Disney World. You know, there's sex. There's the day that you have a child. There's maybe the day you hit the lottery. There maybe you get a promotion in your job. Maybe you get a new job. You know, there are those exciting moments in life. You get hired. You start a new career. It's an exciting time. Hey, you know, I got to tell you, cutting the line in Disney is right up there with, I don't know, scaling Kilimanjaro. You know, some of these folks, they made it to the top of a mountain and they feel like awesome. Well, I got to tell you something. Cutting in front of everybody in a Disney World line and cutting out like an hour of wait, yeah, baby, that's a pretty exhilarating feeling. That is one of the best feelings in the world, cutting in front of everybody at Disney World. To me, that pretty much brings it all the way right there. All right. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? Well, when sports and business collide, we get the KSDT Sports Business Report. So today, as you all know, it is Inter Miami at LAFC. Well, it's kind of interesting. You would think that tickets for that game, you know, they're going to skyrocket a little bit. How about this? When news broke this summer that Messi was joining Inter Miami, LAFC season ticket holder Jordan Eckroth listed his 2 seats for the September game on the secondary market. Eckroth, 32, has been a soccer fan for years and was in disbelief when he heard Messi would be playing Major League Soccer. But he knew he'd be out of town when Messi and Inter came to Los Angeles. He heard tickets were being listed and sold for much higher prices than normal, so he'd figure he'd shoot his shot. He listed 2 tickets he has with his partner for $650 each on Ticketmaster, which is built into his season ticket holder app, and waited. After Messi scored 2 goals in the first 20 minutes of his career for the club last month, the tickets sold. To my shock, they did up selling for $650 each. He's been a season ticket holder, by the way, since his second year at LAFC. Together, the 2 tickets resold for more than the pay for the cost of one of his tickets for the entire season. Well, this Sunday, Messi Mania is in full force in Los Angeles. Tickets on StubHub were selling for at least $558 on Friday afternoon, up from $450 on Wednesday. One pair of seats close to the field that had been listed Thursday at more than $36,000 were sold on Friday. Another pair of seats, not quite as good, were available for $96,000 on Friday. A ticket to an average game typically cost about $95. LAFC has warned attendees that the parking and traffic around BMO Stadium will be severely impacted encourage people to come early and take public transit and use ride handling services. Although fans are making sizable profits from selling tickets on the secondary market, Messi's arrival Sunday won't be finalized with a final windfall for LAFC. It will be for other MLS teams. More than 85% of the 22,500 seats at BMO Stadium have been sold to season ticket holders, one of the highest percentages in the league, with an average game producing a gate revenue of $2 million. The team courted controversy last year when it notified hundreds of season ticket holders that they would not be able to renew their seats because they sold a substantial portion of their tickets on the secondary market. Most of those season ticket holders said they did not feel safe going to games during the pandemic. So, the article goes on and talks more, but you got a pair for $96,000. One pair sold for $36,000. Are you kidding me, dude? Are you kidding me? That is insanity that you're going to pay. I mean, obviously, those kind of people have, the kind of money that for them it's like you and me. It would be like $5 or $10. You know what I'm saying? But dude, $36,000 for a ticket tonight to see Messi? Wow. That is your KSDT CPA Sports Business Report.
This has been the KSDT Sports Business Report. KSDT CPA is one of South Florida's largest and one of the country's fastest growing accounting firms. KSDT is recognized by Forbes as one of the top tax and accounting firms for 2022. KSDT CPA is a full service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit online at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370.
All right. Thank you all out there. Big O, did you see Deion Sanders' alpha personality shine on those young men that he is coaching? Man, that guy brings a lot of energy and excitement whenever he's around people, yes. I went into it a lot. I just talked about Messi a ton. I'm sorry, I just talked about the Deion Sanders and the game just a little bit, so you might want to rewind a little bit there. Eric is in the house. EJD Construction. Yeah, baby. And make sure you call my friends at EJD Construction right there. Dade and Broward County. Eric is a big Dolphins fan. And by the way, title sponsor, EJD Construction, for the Miami Dolphins pre- and post-game show all year long. We are awaiting, by the way, hopefully, we are awaiting a decision. Hopefully, we will have a home for the broadcast. We'll see. If not, we'll be in studio and we'll be fine. But we are working on getting a home for all of this. So we'll see. We'll see. Cross your fingers. And again, folks, remember to smash the hell out of the like button. Also, hit the notification bell on this channel, please. Okay. So that way you know when we go live. Share it and watch. Even if you got to walk away, let it play. Okay? Even if you got to walk away, let it play. All right? So make sure you do that. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? Told you Chargers favored by 3 against the Dolphins. Looking forward to that. I can't wait for Sunday. And we will start our pregame show 2 hours prior to kickoff. Okay? I'd be remiss if I did not mention rest in peace, Jimmy Buffett. We ended up losing the ultimate parrot head. Because obviously we know the parrot heads are his fans. But Jimmy Buffett, obviously, and we found out that cause of death was skin cancer, unfortunately. Buffett is reported to have been diagnosed with skin cancer 4 years ago, which he succumbed to on Friday. He was 76 years old. In a brief statement posted to Buffett's official website, Jimmy passed away peacefully on the night of September 1st, surrounded by his family, friends, music, and dogs. He lived his life like a song to the very last breath and will be missed beyond measures by so many. And his music was just, one of a kind, right? country and reggae-like music, island-like music. And it was just a different dude. And the cool thing is, very few of us in life get to live on our own terms. We all want to dictate our own terms, but we don't really get to most of the time because you usually work for somebody that determines what you're going to do. You're not your own boss more often than not. You know what I mean? Here's a guy that clearly was his own boss, made his own kind of music that did not sound like anyone on the planet. There's only one Jimmy Buffett. There's only one kind of music like Jimmy Buffett's. You know what I mean? And then to create a lifestyle out of it, from a song in Margaritaville to then make it to literally live that lifestyle. And then that be the definition of who you are. I mean, how do you not envy what Jimmy Buffett was? I mean, the guy was nearly a billionaire, walking around barefoot. Okay? Because he can do it. Because he felt like it. Jimmy Buffett was a special dude, bro. Special dude, and a guy that all of us should envy like crazy, because he did something that most of us could never do. And that's live by his own beat. And everybody else had to follow his beat. He was never following anyone whatsoever. That guy was a leader every day of the week and twice on Sundays. Impressive. Let's go through some birthdays today. Jack Dylan Grazer, actor, is 20. Red Foo, rapper, is 48. Boy, they had their run like LMAFO, like had that short run and then it was over. And that's it. Those two broke up, and that window of opportunity opens and closes so quickly for some people. Jenny Finch, softball player, is 43. Gareth Southgate, soccer player, is 53. Conan, rapper, I have no idea who he is, 34. I don't even know if he's a good rapper, a bad rapper, or any kind of rapper. But it says rapper, so we'll go with it. DJ Envy is 46. DJs are very popular nowadays. Not that I know if he's popular or not, to be quite honest. But we'll throw it out there. What the hell? And then, of course, music history today, September 3rd. We start off in 1965 on this date. Rolling Stones had a show in Dublin, Ireland. It ended in a riot when 30 fans rushed the stage. Mick Jagger was knocked to the floor while the rest of the band fled. In 2001, a free concert in L.A. meant to be a gift from System of a Down to their fans turned into a riot, with fans rushing the stage and tossing speakers. 6 people were arrested and police officers suffered minor injuries. In 1982, the 3-day US Festival was held in San Bernardino, California. God, I wish I was there. I hate it every day that I missed that. Performances from Tom Petty, Fleetwood Mac, The Police, The Cars, Talking Heads, The Kinks, Pat Benatar, Jackson Browne, The Grateful Dead, and Steve Wozniak, the Apple co-founder, bankrolled the event. In 2007, on this date, during a tour with Linkin Park, My Chemical Romance singer Gerard Way married mindless, self-indulgent bassist Lin Z after a gig in Colorado. In 1975, on this date, an all-star jam happened at an LA party for actor Peter Sellers' 50th birthday. The group called themselves Trading Faces, and featuring Ronnie Brown, Bill Wyman, Keith Moon, Joe Cocker, and David Bowie. Wow. Wow and wow. Damn. Peter Sellers had a group of Ronnie Wood, Bill Wyman, Keith Moon, Joe Cocker, and David Bowie. Inspector Clouseau, bro. Come on. I never knew about that. Trading Faces. I love that. In 83, the Eurythmics on this day topped the singles charts with Sweet Dreams Are Made of This. In 2008, Slipknot eked out their first #1 album in America with All Hope Is Gone. After a recount of album sales, the guys sold just over 1,000 more copies of their record than rapper The Game did of his. How about that? Not much of a Slipknot guy, personally. But that is what happened today in Musica history. Okay. Where you go? Oh, man. All right. I hope Orlando broadcasts from the Finns parking lot so we can get tailgate with them. Yeah, I can't do that, bro. That's illegal. That would be, I would get arrested for something like that because there are rights and stuff like that. You have to ask for permission to do things like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's different. Look, man, remember, I can't do things like fans can. I'm held to a completely different standard. You know what I mean? I'm in the stands watching practice. You know, you guys can take pictures and videos and broadcast live from there and, you know, whatever. I can't do any of that kind of stuff. Media's, if I want to stay in the media, I have to go by rules that I have to follow. And one of them would be that I have to respect the fact that there are broadcast rights and that people have the rights to the property and all that kind of stuff. It sounds great. You know what I mean? But, you know, most of you out there really have no idea how this whole business works. And so you throw silly stuff like that out there and, you know, it's just not reality. So, let's see, what else do we have? Huge 3-1 win for Arsenal over Man United. Let's go. Yes, sir. It's just nice to have Arsenal back in the mix, dude. You know? That's the thing. It's just nice to have Arsenal actually matter. And to me, that's actually the cool thing because it's been so boring for so long, you know? Arsenal has just been one of those teams that you're like, what happened to you guys? What happened back in the day? You were something in the early 2000s. And what, you know, kind of like the University of Miami, like what happened to you guys? Like the Miami Dolphins 30 years ago, like what happened to you guys? You know, that kind of shit is going on. And it's nice to just get back to being, you know, mattering. By the way, the Cowboys have re-upped one of their linemen as they sign right tackle Terrence Steele to a 5-year deal worth $86.8 million with $50 million guaranteed. So the Cowboys, by the way, signed Trevon Diggs to a 5-year, $97 million deal. They gave Malik Hooker a 3-year deal worth up to $24 million. And Zach Martin, they gave him $36 million guaranteed over the next 4 years also. The club apparently would like to sign CeeDee Lamb to an extension. So, about that. And I got to tell you something. If you're Austin Jackson, brother, go look at that money that guy just got for the position you're playing. Okay. And I'm not saying if he balls out, you're going to give him that contract because you're not. You're going to need a couple of years of watching him play at a high level. But if there's any way you can motivate somebody, there you go. There you go, Austin. I mean, not that you really needed that because you should know that if you become a really good right tackle, you can actually go ask for some serious money. Now, you're still a ways away from asking for serious money because you're going to have to prove several years that you can play at a high level before they're going to give you big money, not 1 year. They're not going to do that. They might bump up your salary next year and give you a little juice just for it, but they're not going to give you a big fat deal. You're going to have to do that a couple years and all that kind of stuff. So this is, a little motivation. If Austin Jackson needed any more motivation because his ass has got 1 foot out of the league or being a backup and never getting another shot again. Okay, so it's up to him what he does this season with this opportunity. He's had a decent camp. He had some up and downs, kind of cleaned it up a little bit. But again, as I've told you over and over again, training camp and the preseason really don't prepare you for the regular season anymore. And you really don't know how good or how bad a team is going to be, really, until they get into the regular season. So we'll find out what Austin Jackson's all about. But if Austin Jackson needs any kind of motivation, Terrence Steele, right tackle for the Cowboys, should be some kind of motivation for him. Should be. All righty. All right, folks, don't forget, by the way, call my friends at EJD Construction, Eric, and the great people at EJD Construction, Dade or Broward counties. All right. Only you can't call if you're in Palm Beach because they just don't do Palm Beach. They do Dade or Broward. 305-433-4843. Custom home construction, major home remodeling, folks, and they are fully insured. So whatever it is you need, like one of our listeners needed to get their entire home. They had a fire, so they had to remediate the entire home. They can do that. You need to add another room. You need to build an efficiency. Maybe you want to build an Airbnb on your property. Man, you call EJD Construction, full contractor. They can get it done. 305-433-4843. By the way, Antonio Brown has gotten into some interesting problems now. Apparently, he even threatened his Arena League team with a gun. And he owes people money, and there's just all kinds of stuff going on with Antonio Brown. I mean, this guy is the problem with Antonio Brown is, why would you get involved with that clown in any way, shape, or form? Right? That's to me, that is the entire problem of everything. That you actually would give Antonio Brown the time of day. And that's where this problem actually comes from. That it's baffling to me that people would actually want to deal with this guy. You would want him to buy your Arena League team, that you would go into business with him. It just really doesn't make any sense whatsoever, because he has not been reliable for years. And yet people were, involved with him, and I just don't understand it. So, the headlines surrounding the former Steeler were constantly and mostly bizarre, aimed towards troubles he caused with the organization and his players in the National Arena League. Whether it's coaches or players leaving after failing to receive pay, the team being kicked out of hotels, or the wait for Brown's reported appearance in a game, the team unseemingly filled tabloids with negative headlines. All of that bubbled over when the NAL eventually removed Brown's team, the Albany Empire, from the league for unpaid dues. Now more allegations are emerging from Brown and his time with the Empire. According to ESPN, Brown allegedly threatened to pull a gun on players on a team following a heated argument about a social media post. The post was in honor of a former teammate who had passed away. According to the report, players were upset about the post being removed and were unable to get answers from those in the front office. So the conversation found itself in front of Brown at an Albany cigar lounge. AB looked at Ryan Larkin and was like, "Hey, man, you still got that AR in the car? Go get it." Then I was like, I'm not going to go allow this dude to walk out of here and you just threatened us. After he said that, things calmed down and we had a conversation. But the fact is that he's threatening us by telling his assistant to go grab his AR. Another terrorizing story in the short tenure of Brown was one that eventually ended with him on a heated phone call with players and coaches over unpaid game checks. Since the league removed Empire, Brown has brought it up a few times, but mostly has stuck to his rap career. He's also made headlines about legal troubles involving child support. I can't wait for his sorry ass to end up in jail. That's all. I look forward to the day that Antonio Brown goes to jail because that's what his ass needs. Okay? Now, he's not going to go get help. We all know he's batshit crazy. I mean, look at Britney Spears. That poor woman's insanely out of her mind. And nobody does a damn thing. You know what I mean? Now, again, they have to be wanting to do it themselves. And if there's nobody that really cares around them, about them, which there's probably nobody that really cares about AB, and not that he even cares anyways to do anything. Let's be quite honest. And then Brittany also looks at the same kind of problem, right? But with Antonio, eventually he's dodged jail so many times already. He is basically a criminal walking around. You and I would have been already in jail if we would have done all the things that he's done. From assaulting women to beating up truck drivers to throwing equipment or furniture out of a 14th floor, which, by the way, landed close to a child. The stuff he's did with the Arena League team, just all this kind of stuff that would have put most of us in jail. And because he has money, he's been able to get away with it. But his money's, it's got to be drying up. It's crazy, dude. So we shall see. There's something new and different. Oh, can you tell us about the secret call you received? No, I can't. So don't bother. Anyway, eventually we'll find out. You'll find out. And it will surprise you all. It will shock you all. When the game is played one way and it's really being played the other. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? Let me see if there's any headlines coming in that I have not seen or caught since I've been on for the last, hour now, because I think we went on at 1 o'clock. Nothing new on the football side. Nope. No, I don't see anything on the football side, so that's good news. On the baseball side, how are Marlins doing, right? Since they are able to beat up on their redheaded stepchild, the Washington Nationals. They are winning 3-1 in the bottom of the second already. So end of the second now. So now we're going to the top of the third. So Sandy's already allowed a run in the first 2 innings. Man, Sandy's had a shit year. Holy crap, he has had a terrible year, dude. My God. When you hear things you can talk about, how does it affect you as a fan and media personality? Depends. You know what I mean? When I hear, Flo is going crazy through the building, it bothers me as a fan because I know that we're headed for another, mess and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, but, what am I going to do? And then when I hear that he didn't want Tua, and I'm telling everybody he didn't want Tua, and, all that kind of stuff, and they didn't believe me until the rest of the media found out. And then I told them, no, I know who he wanted, and kudos to Omar. He's the one that ended up finding out that it was Jordan Love. And, these are the things that when you find out, I knew Joe Philbin was going into the, complaining constantly. I knew about the bickering with Ireland and Sperano and Donna Ponte and all that crap and the mess that Parcells left us. Maybe that's why sometimes when I'm pissed at the Dolphins and I'm like telling you how crappy things are or whatever, it's because, I know more than the average person about what's going on inside the stinking building, and like when Saban, and I would tell people there's a red velvet rope around his door and how you have to walk around it and you can't walk in front of his door and all that kind of stuff, and how you can't look him in the eye, and stories that I told and nobody would do that at QAM because obviously they're tied to the team, but I give a shit. So it's different, So yeah, that it affects me as a fan because I know how dysfunctional. And then I know the damage that the dysfunction is doing. I know that Dave Wannstedt couldn't stand Mike Westhoff. And I knew Mike Westhoff couldn't stand Dave Wannstedt. And I know, that he was inherited off of Jimmy and Shula, just like Mel Phillips was. But Mel got along with everybody. Mel was one of those guys, but Westhoff was a guy that would speak his piece. You may not like what he has to say, but he's going to tell you what's on his mind. And so those kind of things. And I know that, I knew Tony Wise was part of, and I told the story once that Tony Wise walks into the room with all the assistants and Dave Wannstedt's not in the room at the moment. And he looks at all the assistants. Well, no, first, he walks in and he starts drawing an island. And then he puts a couple of people on the island. And then he puts a bunch of little boats outside on the island. This shit happened, okay? This is Tony Wise. This is your offensive line coach. Best friends with Dave Wannstedt, okay? So all the assistant coaches are there, including Mike Westhoff, part of those assistant coaches. And and they're all looking at him like, what's he drawing up there? So then he turns around and he goes, I'm on this island. And then it only shows two people. So it's him and Wannstedt. And he goes, you guys are all out here on the U-boats. You call that chemistry? So, when you find out about the stuff that's going on inside the building, and it's different. You know what I'm saying? I can't say that the people in the media that share with me media credentials know about a lot of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think most of them have people inside the building, to be quite honest. To be absolutely honest, I would say most people in the media have nobody in the building that they can talk to. I have several. So, it's just different, man. And so, yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question. And maybe that's why over the years, I'm rarely ever wrong about the Dolphins. So it's just one of those deals. But, I'm not perfect. Sometimes I don't know things, and sometimes I have to, go by feel of whatever's going on. And usually I'll get it right. But I'm not always going to be right. Look, the Tyreek Hill, I was afraid of a game suspension, remember? I told you I wouldn't be surprised. And I wasn't predicting a game, but I kept saying I would not be surprised if there was a game here. And there wasn't. So that was good, by the way. But I'm not always going to be right, but when it comes to like stuff that the Dolphins are doing, more often than not, I'm going to be right. And that's usually because I have a feel for what's actually going on inside the building. Okay. Like what I found out this week. That was very interesting. Very, 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 very opposite. Just remember that I told you something happening that's very opposite. One day, I can reveal what happened. One day, there'll be a time, there'll be a place. There always is. And it'll happen. But it won't affect it's not affecting anything with this season right now. That's all I can tell you. It has nothing to do with this season right now, at least. That's a good thing. Is Messi starting tonight? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He is starting tonight. He is starting tonight, and they need to win badly because I don't know how they make the playoffs, to be quite honest. Really, to be quite honest, I have no idea how they're going to make the playoffs. They're going to be missing so many different players throughout the next couple of weeks. They're going to be hurting. They're going to be hurting. It's going to be a huge burden to make it. So we'll see. Let's just win on the 27th, the U.S. Open Cup, and have the 2 cups. And then next year you start fresh, and definitely they'll make the playoffs next year. You know, that's the way it should go. That's the way it should be. Does that information make you angry or frustrated? I'm not angry. I'm not frustrated. I'm a little surprised. And I'm a little surprised. And what other thing can I say about it? I'm a little surprised, and it's a very interesting approach. That's all I can say. You know, so good thing is it has nothing to do with this season right now. Okay, so that's the good thing about it all, and keep it like that. At least for now. We'll see. Why does Roy Johnson of Bishop Sycamore reminds me of Flores? I know Big O doesn't care and would look Saban right in the eye. Oh, yeah, no, Saban for sure. Well, I pissed him off that he called me an asshole in front of everybody. Then he called me up to his office, which then I sat down. He pulled out a garage door opener and closed the door behind me. He had an automatic garage door opener to close the door. Oh, Lordy. Yeah. So, you know, honestly, I'd be happy if they win the U.S. Open Cup and they're still in the playoff mix by October. We'll see, man. We'll see. It's going to be a miracle for them to get into the playoffs. An absolute miracle. Because it's just so many absences they're going to have with so many players. They're a good team now. And they have players that belong on all kinds of national teams. And so it sucks now, you know? That's the bad side of having a good team, that you actually have players that belong to national teams all over the world. And so they're all calling them up for their national teams, you know, or up and coming young guys like Drake Callender, you know, and Kramashi, you know, and Kramaski has been so awesome, dude. He has been a blessing. Big O, you're making me nervous. I need our Dolphins to stay consistent and competitive for years to come. Oh, that has nothing to do with it. That will still happen. Still happen. Has nothing to do with it's something you can overcome, but it is going to be a hurdle. Okay, but just not right now. That's all. So, but it's not anything that not going to affect this season. So don't worry about it. Move on. Okay. Everything is kosher for now for this season. You're good. Okay. At least from what I can tell. And if there's anything else that develops, then I'll tell you. Then I'll tell you that something might be rolling over. Might be an issue. But outside of that, you'll be all right. Hang in there, folks. Hang in there. It's not so bad. Okay? Not so bad. All right, don't forget, folks, to call my friends at Cutter's Edge Pro, William Quigley and the boys. Yes, Mike, all the great people out there, 954-472-0622. I tell you all the time about the artificial turf, the greatest invention of mankind. I love it in our backyard. Our dogs love it. It is so easy to manage and maintain, and it always looks phenomenal, dude. Phenomenal. So call my friends at Cutter's Edge Pro. We're still in hurricane season, so if you've got some trees in the way of some wires or roof or what, don't get your ass up there and risk your life. Call the people at Cutter's Edge Pro, who are fully insured, by the way. Okay? So if anybody gets hurt on your property, they will not sue you because they're fully insured. And if you don't hire Cutter's Edge Pro or my friends at EJD Construction, well, then if you hire somebody else, please make sure they're fully insured. I always tell you that. 954-472-0622. And remember, for all your Canes need, Inter Miami, Miami Dolphins start next week. The Miami Heat start next month. The Panthers also are starting. You can get all kinds of stuff. The Marlins are playing. They got all kinds of stuff at Caneswear, 2655 South University Drive in Davie, right next to the delicious Las Spadas. It's a beautiful thing. All right, you all. We will see you on Monday. We'll have a short show tomorrow. It's Labor Day. But we'll be on at 10 a.m. Short show. But figured I get something in here today on a Sunday. Appreciate it. And again, thank you all for watching the new channel. Please subscribe to the new channel here at Big O Radio Show Live. Okay, all the live shows will be here, except for Dolphins pre and post. That'll be on the original channel at Big O Radio Show. But live will carry our daily show like this. It'll carry the wrestling show with Sean and Frankie. And I'm bringing back the crypto show this week. So Crypto Bro Show will be back this week. We're going to start getting ready because I think a Bitcoin ETF is going to be approved in October. And I think we're going to be moving forward. I've been saying that from September to October, I think is when the crypto market is going to start turning. It might be more towards the end of this month and into October, but I want to get prepared and get on the bandwagon and start, because the last couple months, all I would be doing is walking you off the ledge, and I just, it gets boring to do that every day. You know what I mean? I do it on the show normally when I have a crypto segment, and I throw it in there. But we're going to go full crypto board now with our show next week. So all of the shows will be here, except for our Dolphins pre- and post-game show, which will be on the mothership. All righty? We will see all of you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Oh, same time, same place, same bat channel.